Okay, now we can perform the login operation. So if the login success, we need to display a welcome message. So here we need another activity to display a welcome message. So create a new activity. Select an empty activity. Now specify an activity name. Here the activity name is login success. So here we need to display a welcome message and the email of the user. So we need some text views. So here I add two text views. Now change the ID of the first text view into name. Now change the ID of the second text view into email. Now change the style of the first text view. We need a bold style for the first text view. So text style into bold. Okay. Now close this activity. Now go to main activity.java. Here we have a text with ID, login name, login password, and here is the button with ID bn login. Now go to main activity.java. Here declare some variables. First one is a button variable. I name it as login button. Now we need some variables for edit text. Username, password. Now we need some string variables, string username and password. Now we have to specify the server URL. We need to specify the URL for PHP script. Here I use a Genymotion virtual device, so you have to specify the IP address to access the local host. Here is my IPv4 address. Now specify the PHP script name. Here it is login.php. Now specify some variables for alert dialog. Alert dialog.builder. I name it as builder. Now we need to initialize these variables. So first initialize the alert dialog variable. So builder equal to new builder and pass the context. Here it is main activity.this. Now we need to initialize all the other variables. First one is button, login button. Typecast that one into button. Now find it. r.id. Login button bn login. Now initialize the text views. So first one is username. Now find it. Typecast that one into username into edit text. Now find it. Find the view by id r.id. Login name. Now find the password. Typecast into edit text. Now find it. Find the view by id r.id. Login password. Okay. Now create a click listener for the button. Login button dot set on click listener. So first here we need to check some condition whether the user enter proper username and password. So before we need to fetch the data from user. So username equal to username.getText.toString. Now fetch the password. Password equal to password.getText.toString. Okay, now here we need to check some condition. So if username dot equals empty, and the second condition is password dot equals is empty, in that case we have to display an alert dialog. So here we need to display the alert dialog. So builder dot set title, here the title is something went wrong. Okay, now here we need another method. So public void display alert, method name is display alert, and for this method we need one parameter, string value called message, and here set the message for the alert dialog. So builder dot set message into message. Now set a positive button for the alert dialog. So set positive button, specify the button title. Okay, now specify the click listener for the button. Now here we need to reset username and password field. Now display the alert dialog. So create an alert dialog variable, builder.create. Now display the alert dialog dot show. Okay, now from this if loop, now we need to call that method. So display alert and pass a message. Enter a valid username and password. So if the user enter a username and password, in that case we have to we have to make the authentication from server. So in that case we need to start some string request. Here I name it as string request. Now initialize the string request, new string request. First specify the request method dot post. Now specify the URL, login URL. Now specify the response listener. Now specify the error listener. So here we need to pass some data. Here we need to pass username and password. So here you need to override some method called the get params. So here the return type is a map. So here you need to declare some map variable, specify the data type for key and value. Here it is string. Now specify the variable name. Here it is params. Now initialize it as a hash map. Okay, now put data to the hash map. So params dot put. First specify the key. Here the key is username. Now specify the data. Data is username. Now specify the second data, params dot put. Specify the key for password. Now specify the data, password, and finally return the map from here. Return params. Okay. Now we need to handle the response from server. So here the response is a JSON array. So JSON array, I name it as JSON array equal to new JSON array. and pass the response string. Here add some try catch. Okay, now declare a JSON object equal to get the JSON object from the JSON array dot get JSON object. Here only one object is available, so you can pass 0 as index. Now fetch the information, so string code equal to JSON object dot get string, and specify the key for it. Here it is code. Now here we need to check some condition. If code dot equals login failed, in that case we have to display an alert dialog. So builder dot set title login error. Now call the method called display alert. And now get the message from server. So JSON object dot get string and pass the code. Here the code is message. Okay. So here it will display the alert dialog. Else, that means login success. In that case we have to start the another activity. Else, create an intent variable intent equal to new intent main activity dot this. Now specify the target activity. Here the activity is login success dot class. Now here we need to attach some additional data to the intent. So create some bundle variable, bundle equal to new bundle. Now put some data to the bundle. So bundle dot put string, specify key name. Now fetch the name from the server response. So JSON object dot get string and specify the key. Here the key is name. Now get the email of the user. So bundle dot put string email. Now get email from the JSON object. So JSON object dot get string. Email. Okay. Now we need to attach this bundle to the intent object. So intent dot put extras and pass the bundle. And finally we can start the another activity. So start activity and pass the intent. Now go to another activity. So here we need to declare some text view variables. Create some text view variables, name and email. Now initialize these variables. Name equal to find the view by id r.id dot name. Now the second text view email. Find it r.id dot email. Now set the data on the text views. So here first fetch the bundle. So bundle equal to get intent dot get extras. Now set data on the text views. So name dot set data, set the text, specify a welcome message. Now display the username. So bundle dot get string, specify the key. Here the key is name. Now display the user email address. So email dot set the text, email equal to, now display the email, so bundle dot get the string and specify the key for it. Here the key is email. Okay, now we finish the coding. Now we can test it. So before, here we need to add the string request to the request queue, and here if there is an error happens, we need to display some toast make a test main activity dot this. Now display the error, display length for the toast. Now make the toast visible using show method. Now print the error stack trace. Okay, and finally we need to add the string request to the request queue. So MySingleton dot get instance main activity dot this. Now call the method called add it to request queue and pass the string request. Okay, now we can test it. So run it, select a virtual device, okay, now the application available on this virtual device. So here is our database. So now try to log in without enter a username or password. Here there is only one data is available. Now try to log in without a username and password. Enter a valid username and password. Now enter a wrong username and password. Now try to log in. Now this is the response. User not found, please try again. This is the response from PHP script. Okay. Now try to log in a valid user. Here the username is Rashmi123 and password is pass. Specify the password and login. Now here is the welcome message, welcome username, and here is the email address of the user.